Both early on and certainly as a business evolves, some look at the scalability issues, and they're very different for different enterprises. If you're in a manufacturing sector, could mean it's very capital intensive, in which case you've got to have an eye towards where's all that other money coming from. If it's a service business, by its nature, it's going to involve more human beings. And particularly in America these days, with the levels of unemployment we have, the low levels of unemployment, then depending on the pay scale of the people in that enterprise, finding qualified people to grow with can be a real challenge. I can tell you the healthcare sector, services sector, for example, is extremely challenged because we have a growing part of the population that are moving to nursing homes and assisted living nursing homes, that kind of support. And by their nature, the sort of folks that support them tend to be, they may be highly skilled, but they're certainly lower paid. And so the turnover in these companies is tremendous, and which creates incredible HR problems for those enterprises. How they scale becomes something you need to look ahead at. And manufacturing by its nature involves more logistical challenges. So now increasingly you're looking at third-party vendors that are providing some part of your logistical supply chain. So I don't know if there's any easy answer other than probably the more you can do in-house on the front end as you're developing your product or delivering your service, the more you're really going to know that you're going to see those snakes in the grass that are subtle that you would really only know by doing, so that when you do start to bring in third parties or when you expand it in-house, you're more informed of the risks that you're taking while you do that. Related to this, and so many of these questions that we ask really come back to the experience of the entrepreneur, but has the entrepreneur ever scaled a business in their career thus far? Because if they have, then they'll have a healthy appreciation for challenges known and unknown. If they haven't done it, has anybody else on the management team ever done it? It's not necessarily essential that the founder has done it, but somebody showing up to work at that company should have some practical appreciation of what it takes to scale a business 10x, 100x, 1,000x. For that service or that product, there's a critical path for delivering it to a customer. What is it? And then you can backtrack and look at that path and say, well, okay, these are the pinch points in that delivery process that are most vulnerable. And that's where we really need to put our energy to have backup plans and what have you. Financed a company years ago that makes sweet potato French fries. And probably didn't appreciate at the time that a monoline, single line plant by its nature is a highly vulnerable plant. If something goes wrong on that line, the whole line shuts down. But one of the parts on a food line are belts. They use up a tremendous amount of synthetic belts. And the belt breaks, you're shut down. If you don't have the belt on site, you're not going to get back up. But it's a clear case of where preventative maintenance is necessary, to where you replace belts even if they're not broken, because that's the cycle they're on and you're trying to be ahead of that. When you're looking at scaling businesses, subtle little things like a synthetic belt on a production line can make or break your day in terms of you having a successful business.